Welcome back to River City Live. We've partnered with Baptist Health to give you at home some really important health information, but we're going to do it in a fun way.
That's right. So Dr. Calhoun is back with us today on River City Live. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
And we have a quiz that's set up, and you could qualify to win a $25 gift card on that. We're going to give you the website in just a bit. But today's topic, it's really interesting. It's called the Scoop on Poop.
For
That's
real.
right. Yeah,
The
it
scoop
really
on
is.
poop.
But this is something that's really important to identify and to learn about.
That is correct. So we have a quiz that you can take online, and it's often about questions that people want to ask but are afraid to kind of take that step out and ask what's normal.
You know, you're right. I think people, what are you going to do? Call somebody in and say, oh, look at that. Tell me what you think of that. You kind of want at least some sort of benchmark to know what's healthy and what is unhealthy, what is just simply a function of something we ate versus something that might be physically wrong with us.
So what are we looking for? Like what traits, what characteristics, if you will?
So people often think it's what is changing with how frequently they go, or is what they are having for normal bowel movements, a regular pattern. We often look at the color of the stool as well. So brown is generally a normal color for stool.
Sure.
If there's differences in color, sometimes it's because of pigments in the foods that we eat that may change the color of the stool. There's a couple of things, though, that are what we call in medicine red flags for things that can happen with your stool that you should definitely see a doctor for.
And what are some of those?
So blood, red.
Yeah.
So many people think, oh, it's just hemorrhoids, or I'm 45 and it can't be anything serious. But if there's blood in the stool, it needs a medical evaluation, at least the reassurance that it is just hemorrhoids, or the referral to look into things a little bit more carefully to make sure it's not something more serious.
And what are some of the things you should be doing anyway, preventatively?
So from a scoop on poop standpoint, colonoscopy should start at least at age 50. There's some guidelines that may change that down a little bit lower because we are finding colon cancer now in younger people. But at age 50, you should start with a colonoscopy or another approved screening test for colon cancer.
And when it goes down to like your pattern of what you're doing, how often should you be going?
That's another good question. So what's normal for you or for me may be completely different. So it may be once or twice a day, it may be every 2 or 3 days, as long as that, again, is your normal.
Is there a red flag, let's just say, if you go, or if you're not going in a couple days, or like, you know, when do you see a doctor
Like
on the
at what
other
point?
side? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so 3 or 4 days, if that is not normal for you, if you're having abdominal pain, if you're having change in the stool, if you're having fevers, if you're having other symptoms that would go along with that, those would also be red flags to seek medical.
Real quick, what about in kids? Is it a little bit different of a pattern?
Yes, so as a family physician, I see newborn to no age limit, and babies when they're born will have a different character of stool. And if they're breastfed babies, they'll have a more yellow seedy stool, and they may go again every time they're fed, or they may go every 2 or 3 days. It depends upon the pattern for that baby, and it also depends upon what the baby is doing as far as any discomfort or crying or other signs or symptoms.
It's just such a roadmap to what's going on the inside. So thank you so much, doctor. I mean, these are some things to think about, and this is kind of what we're planning to do moving forward. It's not always going to be poop related, but it will be something that will at some point touch you in your life.
That's right. And you can go to newsforjax.com/contest and take the quiz there. Thanks again. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.